Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Kirtan ki Go Premanandi, gloriously assembled devotees. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prasthaya Vijay, Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namani Namaste, Saraswati Devi, Gaudavani Vicharine, Navasesha Singha, Ripasta Chidreshatari. Om Jnana Timarandasya Janananda Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhisham Tapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Upakadamayam Tadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shirta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijanam Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Cha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. We're reading a little bit from the Unlimited Eternal Pastimes of Srila Prabhupada. We pull this table a little forward towards me. Push it, pull it. I don't know where we're reading from. Who read last week? We were not here. Did you read last week? Does anyone know where we're reading from?
I did last week.
Where shall I start? Is there some break point?
No, just at the top
Three?
of the page.
Which page? I guess the right page, because the left page is the middle of a paragraph.
Yeah.
Okay, we will start at the top of the right page, which is the right thing to do. Here we are. This is India Revisited, Part 1. Jai. I guess this is when Is this when Srila Prabhupada had his heart attacks and he went back to India? Is that the situation?
Yeah.
Okay. Very early days of ISKCON, 1967. 67 or 68? 67, isn't that? 67, the summer of love, you know all about it. Okay. So we are now on August the 1st. We're not on today, we're on September the 1st. Oh, 1 month difference. August the 1st. After 6 days in Delhi. What is that? What's that mean? Peace? Peace, okay, peace. After 6 days in Delhi, Prabhupada went to Vrindavan. Janananda wrote back to New York, as you may be aware that Prabhupada went there just with one young disciple, Janananda. That time was I guess, brahmachari. And he came out of Vrindavan eventually as a sannyasi, of course, Prabhupada's first sannyas disciple. So Kirtananda wrote, "My dear brothers and sisters, greetings in the name of Krishna from Vrindavan." I guess they didn't know the, what would you call it, the proper etiquette? No. What is it? The way of addressing when you write a letter in those days. They would call Prabhupada Swamiji, and here, greetings, obeisances, no all glories to Srila Prabhupada or anything, just very simple. Nobody had experience in those days. Very simple. Greetings in the name of Krishna from Vrindavan. Don't recommend you follow this. It's nice. Obviously, Swamiji is much better, especially after reaching Vrindavan. His eyes now have a special glow. You can meditate on this. We're in Vrindavan, August the 1st, 1967. And Prabhupada is there, I guess, in the Radha Damodar temple. And he's there with Kirtananda. We left Delhi yesterday, 31st morning, on the Taj Express. And some of you have been on the famous Taj Express. And in 2 hours we were at Mathura. We rode special third class. I'm not quite sure. Third class training in India is very special. Very special. If you've ever been third class, I'm not sure, I doubt whether that's exactly what they did. You'll be lucky if you can stand up and survive. And it was quite satisfactory. Not at all crowded like the usual third class. Maybe special third class. Anyway, we are now here and are in the process of settling down. Swamiji has 2 very nice rooms. Quite cool. Just off the porch. Now, if you've been to the Radha Damodar temple in Vrindavan, you can now visualize what's being written here. 2 very nice rooms, and they're just off of the porch where the Bhagavatam is read. You know what the porch means? You know what a porch is? What's a porch?
It's a car.
Pardon?
It's a car.
A porch. Just off the porch. Who said that? See what his mind, where his mind's at. He's dreaming of a porch. He's dreaming of a Porsche. He's had enough of this temple car. What's a porch?
It's a little raised area.
A little raised area, you know, usually in front of the door or around the house or something like that.
Something like this.
Huh?
Something like this.
Like what?
Like this.
Porch. It can be like that, yeah.
Step.
But it's usually, it can be like the arches, but it's also the flat place where you sit there. You have the arches and then there's a flat place. Normally the porch is the thing in front of the front door, your porch. Something, you know, before you go in the house usually. So before going to Prabhupada's rooms, if you go there now, you'll see there's a porch. You have to go up 3 or 4 steps, and you're on the porch. And there it says, the Bhagavatam was read, presumably Srila Prabhupada, maybe who was giving class there or something, who knows. How appropriate. The only difficulty on his behalf is that these Indians all want to see him. These Indians, they all want to see him. And they are very persistent. And I am not very successful in keeping them away. They didn't really listen to this young American boy. He wasn't so young. He was one of the elder-bodied devotees. He must have probably been 30 at that time, maybe. I don't know, maybe 30. Vrindavan, seen materially, is a very beautiful place. The country is very flat, and there are many trees. You may not know what it was like then. It looked a little different than what it looks now. Of course, he hadn't seen much of Vrindavan at that time. He'd only seen a little bit.
Before the plastic.
Before the plastic and many other things. I remember one time we were on a train, local train, going from Vrindavan station to near the Mudin or whatever it's called in Delhi. Very slow, crowded train. Local. There was one man sat next to us on the train. He was quite upset with us. He said, because of you, now everything is going to be ruined. He said, I work in Delhi in the planning department, and I've seen already every square inch of the land practically from little town of Delhi up to Chattikar is already designated for development. This is like 25, 30, 40 years ago. So you can look at that in different ways too. Obviously Krishna is allowing these things for higher purposes, and we can see what they are. Millions of people are now becoming attracted to Krishna consciousness. It's not a private little place where you hide away anymore. Vrindavan, seen materially, is a very beautiful place. The country is very flat. There are many trees, monkeys. The monkeys are still there. And a few things are still there. The trees are not so many, and the peacocks are very few. And of course, many temples. There are many temples. They're still there. Many new ones also. The peacocks were very, even as late, I went first time in 76. Maybe some of you went before that, I don't know. But even in 76, peacocks were, they would be on the temple. If you've been to the Krishna Balaram temple, they would regularly be perched up on the wall around the property of the temple, In the morning, peacocks everywhere. You could hear them crowing constantly. Creates a very special mood, transcendental. Now you occasionally hear, but you don't see very often in Vrindavan. From a distance, they crow, coo, whatever you call it. And if you go in the countryside, you still see some, but nothing like it used to be. There would be many, many peacocks. Even you go to Govardhan Hill, many peacocks. You also see this animal called Nilagai. You know what a Nilagai is? It's a kind of a cow. It's like a blue cow. It's not so blue. It's more kind of grey blue. It looks something between a horse, a cow, a deer. I don't know. It's sort of a mixture of different species called Nilagai. They're a protected animal. At least they were. But you rarely see them now. I haven't seen one for years. You see them regularly at Govardhan Hill or in that area. You see snakes. Maybe you don't want to see snakes. There are snakes. Going around Govardhan was all thorn bushes. Practically all thorn bushes. You had to, not all, but a large portion of you had to walk through thorn bushes practically. If you wanted to go on the inner path. Yes, there are thorn bushes. Those favoured by God have their path. Siddhanta Maharaj will quote that verse. Those favoured by God have their path set with thorns. And there's going to be some thorns, some challenges, if we want to get out of this world and enter into Vrindavan. It is also very poor, talking materially of course. Both the people and the temples are in a bad state of disrepair. And still the case in many places, but some changes have taken place there. But spiritually considered, there are many great devotees here, and it is wonderful to walk down the streets and see tilaks all over the place. In other words, more or less everyone's wearing tilak. If you walk in tours, you don't see too many people wearing tilak. Maybe some, what do you call it, tattoo or something, but not Vaishnava tilak. And people are chanting on their beads. In fact, even you see thousands of people in Vrindavan today. Here we go, people many walking with their bead bags and their tilak and their neck beads. People from Delhi. And that's a reminder, there are also many mosquitoes. Mosquitoes just came and said hello. And yes, there were many mosquitoes also. If I can develop a fraction of their devotion for Krishna, my life will be successful. Nice statement. It is also thrilling to hear the temple bells ringing so many times throughout the day. Even the church bells, they create a spiritual atmosphere. Something is there. You can feel it. It's got something more than just a bell ringing. Last night, I played our record for Lord Damodar here in the temples. Early record, that was Prabhupada's recording, I believe. The record which Prabhupada recorded. Obviously Kirtananda took it to Vrindavan and he played it to Radha Damodar. And then performed kirtan with some of the local devotees. It was the first time ever. It was very nice, but you will be surprised, I think, when I say that I prefer your kirtan in New York. A very nice personal letter, can you say? Very sweet. It brings the atmosphere to the forefront. That's the idea of the Krishna consciousness movement, to bring that atmosphere of Vrindavan to the forefront. Not just talk about it, but to actually bring it. Sometimes we hear creating Vrindavan, Vrindavan villages and so on and so forth. After Prabhupada had been in Vrindavan only one day, and his health had only slightly improved, he began planning his return to America. Prabhupada said, he wrote in fact to the devotees, I am always thinking of you, my dear students. Prabhupada would address his, even though initiated, he would call them students. Sometimes disciples, but students was how he saw it. They're studying the science of bhakti. And, science is not just about studying, it's about implementation. You don't just study the whole life, you're supposed to do something with it and either create something or prove something or invent something or whatever they call it. You're meant to utilize that knowledge in some scientific, beneficial way. So as a student, we're studying, but we're meant to put it into practice as well, of course. Prabhupada said, I cannot stop my Western world activities, and I have taken leave from you only for 6 months. And it may be that on or before I will come to you again. Kirtananda says from my bodily feature that I am now improving. I am also feeling like that. Continuation. In Delhi, Prabhupada had received a letter from Brahmananda saying that the Macmillan Company was definitely interested in publishing the Bhagavad Gita. In Vrindavan, Prabhupada wrote Brahmananda to sign a contract at once on his behalf. Now, of course, that's a famous story of the Bhagavad Gita being published by Macmillan, and it's very related to that record. as you may know, they produced, somebody, what's his name, Kiyoma or something, had helped them produce a record of Srila Prabhupada singing. So they were trying to distribute it, and many people obtained that record, including George Harrison, by the way. But there was one man in New York who ordered the record. There was some, thing there, so you want a copyright to so and so. So he ordered it, and it so happened he worked for Macmillan, and the address was to deliver it to the officer in Macmillan. So Prabhupada was very excited about this, and Brahmananda, you go there immediately. And Macmillan is one of the most famous publishing companies at that time. Collier Macmillan, they became Collier Macmillan. The earlier books in ISKCON were published, some of them, Bhagavad Gita particularly, by Collier Macmillan. Big publishing company, famous. And so he went there with high hopes. Brahmananda went there with high hopes that, wow, maybe this is a chance now. Maybe this person will be able to, publish or help arrange the publishing of Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita. When he went there, the guy was just an ordinary clerk, a small-time guy who had nothing to do with any decision-making, really. He was just a little guy in the office. What to do with this? This is like not quite what he was hoping for. But as he was in the room, one man came in, and he wasn't at the beginning, but then this man came in and started talking something. Someone or other, he saw, what is this? And Brahmananda said something like, this is a manuscript of my Swamiji, Bhagavad Gita. And the man said, what? Bhagavad Gita? We've been looking everywhere for a manuscript of the Bhagavad Gita. We're publishing a series on various religious books right now. And the only one we haven't got is the Bhagavad Gita. Let me see. He was one of the chief, religious editor for Macmillan. And so he immediately accepted it. So he touched it up and Prabhupada signed the contract. And he abridged. It was a small version. They didn't want a big one straight away. They were doing small abridged versions. So they took it, edited it in their own way, basically, and published it. The first Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, published by Macmillan Press. Miraculous event. Prabhupada was so happy and so confident. He devoted. You can imagine Brahman just joined, basically, going to a big publishing company and expecting them to publish your, not particularly well-typed manuscript. It was like quite a ambitious idea. But with Prabhupada's empowerment and Prabhupada's conviction, everything was what happened, and the book was published. Did you ever have a copy? That was my first copy of Bhagavad Gita, was that one. It was kind of a purple colour with a little kind of black etching on the front of Krishna and Arjuna, I think, black and white etching. Bhagavad Gita as it is, by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Yes, wonderful event. Where did it get to there? Yes, in Delhi, Prabhupada received a letter and Vrindavan, Prabhupada wrote Brahmananda to sign the contract at once on his behalf. Prabhupada had been considering whether to print privately in Japan or India, or to wait for Macmillan. He wasn't concerned with the prestige and financial advantages of publishing through Macmillan. His first concern was to print as quickly as possible. You all know Prabhupada's enthusiasm for printing. And one of the most famous marathons in ISKCON, 1975, wasn't it? Yeah, it must have been. The book publishing marathon. Incredible, impossible event when the devotees were falling behind with getting Srila Prabhupada's books published and printed. They were like 17 volumes behind. Prabhupada had finished the Chaitanya Charitamrita, and I think only 2 volumes had been printed at that time. Maybe 3 at most. And the Bhagavatam, they were 3 or 4 volumes behind also. And Prabhupada threatened that I will stop translating unless you catch up. You have to print all 17 volumes in 3 months. They have to be printed. They were doing like one every 3 months at most. At most. 17 volumes in 3 months. Impossible. Impossible, you could say. I would say impossible is a word in a fool's dictionary. We shouldn't remain fools. We may be fools, but we shouldn't remain fools. Prabhupada made it possible. The devotees committed themselves, and day and night practically, dozens and dozens of devotees. Well, first of all, they all, what nice word. When birds come on a place, what do they call it? Descending, not the word.
Swoop.
Huh?
Swoop.
Huh?
Flock together.
They what?
Flock.
They could say, yeah, they came here. There's another word which describes. They all.
Swoop.
Huh?
Swoop.
Swoop? No, well, birds may swoop, but people don't swoop like quite like birds. It's another word.
Okay.
Anyway, they all gathered, some of them from all over the world. I mean, even some of the devotees in London flew to Los Angeles to take part in this marathon. Artists and, typesetters and what have you. And for 3 months, day and night, literally they hardly slept, many of them. They were working round the clock. They just chant their 16 rounds, nibble a bit of prashadam and get back to work again. And sleep as little as possible. It was a 3-month marathon and they succeeded. It really was a miracle. 17 volumes were published in 3 months. Incredible. All the work, all the paintings had to be done, all the layout, all the editing, proofreading, typesetting, arranging with the printers, everything. Indexing. Tremendous job, indexing. You know what it's about. Goswami was a member of the French PBT. It's a lot of work, isn't it? Tremendous amount of work. Indexing is a phenomenal job. And then any change that takes place in the editing, you have to re-index. So the page numbers change. It's over and over again. There may have been a few small mistakes, no doubt about that, but they were published to this very day. They're still there. Incredible achievement, and it just goes to show that nothing is impossible. So Prabhupada wanted them printed. Prabhupada said, I shall be satisfied with the commission and shall only be glad to see that the books are being read by hundreds and thousands of men. That was Prabhupada's motive. It wasn't just to publish books and I'm a big author. The purpose is that people read it. Whatever profit may be derived from it will be utilized for the development of an American house here. That means in Vrindavan. Prabhupada wanted an American house. In the beginning in Vrindavan, when the Krishna Bharam was built, what do they call it? What was that word term they used? American temple? Angaric Mandir. American temple. It was called the American temple. Believe me, you don't know what it's like now. You go there, and if you don't go during the festival season, well, there's more devotees living there now, but basically in the temple you don't see many Westerners. You go in the festival, you do, but most of the year, especially if you go in June, you hardly see any Westerners. It's hot, of course, or in January. You don't see, there's more now, but for a long time there was only Indians in that Angaric temple, how do you pronounce it? Angaric Mandir. But then in those days there was no Indians there. There's only Americans or Westerners. They called anyone who was Indian an American. Even Dhiradhata would be called an American. American. Huh? But now it's mostly all Indian devotees. There are hundreds of thousands of ISKCON Indian devotees all over India now, isn't it? Thousands. How many temples have they got, for God's sake, in India in ISKCON? You have to count, every day you have to recount, right? Almost every day another centre is opening. Practically. Left, right and centre. And devotees coming in many congregations. There was next to nothing in those days. Literally nothing in 67. Absolutely nothing. As far as ISKCON goes in India. But now it's huge. Huge. Most of ISKCON, in terms of temples and devotees and books distributed. I remember last year we got the Bhadra Purnim coming up in What day is Bhadra Purnima? The 19th or 17th of September? Anyone remember?
18th.
Bhadra Purnima?
18.
18th, so halfway in between. 17th, 18th, 19th. Okay, good. 18th of September is only less than 3 weeks away. You know, Prabhupada's big desire, as we all know, is to publish the Bhagavatam. He spent much of his time translating, commenting on Srimad Bhagavatam as his, practically speaking, as far as literary goes, his primary desire to see the Srimad Bhagavatam available all over the world in all languages. Great desire. So Bhadra Purnima is a very special occasion, and you know, many of you are fully engaged in London. How many sets are you planning to distribute this year for the campaign? How many? Come on, boss. Huh? 320.
230.
I can't. I'm not very good at arithmetic. 320. Same thing. There's no change there. It's the same figures, right? 2 and 3 and 0. Diamore's head's way down. I'm not feeling very happy about that one. He was very proud that we're going to do 230, and now he's feeling a bit depressed. Is this an order, or is this just a spaced out statement? And nothing is impossible. Well, here, I mean, we don't have quite, you could say, the, what's the word, the field? No, that's not the word, the area capture, area to capture people, what's it called? Oh God, I'm losing words this morning. Area of say, influence, or whatever you want to call it, is perhaps a little less developed than yours, in terms especially of the Indian community, and even the Western community. There's still something there, so I'll mention where we're at in a few minutes. I won't mention it now. But we had a target here. Last year we had after the Bhadra Purnima campaign was completed. What was the target last year? Do you remember how many sets? Was it 40,000 sets? How many was it last year? Worldwide, I mean, not in France. I think. Anyway, let's say whatever it was. I think it was 47,000 last year, or something like that. Sets worldwide, in all languages. So we had the meeting, and devotees from all over the world were tuning in. Fiji, Jai, 27 sets. We beat our quota. New Zealand, blah blah blah. 100 and something sets, 130 sets or something. Fantastic. Australia, 200 and something sets, one by one, all over the place. Japan, Malaysia, this one, that one, in Asia, and America, so many sets. Fantastic. Now we're up to the total, the whole world, 44,800 sets. Jai. And we made our quota. India, 440,000 sets. Jai. We did it. We did it! India did it.
Number one.
Yeah. Same with the Bhagavad Gitas. I mean, in Delhi alone, they distributed nearly 1 million Gitas during the marathon. Just in Delhi. I mean, that's incredible. There's only 20 million people living in Delhi, because they go elsewhere. They don't just stick in Delhi. You would not have dreamed of this in 1967. It was almost hopeless. In the 70s, devotees were thinking, we can't make devotees from these Indians. You know what I mean? I mean, they're devotees in their own way, you could say, but not the way that devotees envision being a devotee. What we call a devotee, I don't know what that means. That's another subject, but you get the point.
ISKCON.
They're not going to join ISKCON. Huh? We even have a wonderful Indian devotee here. Look.
Sorting. Temple
president. Who would have thought? Even in India, I think until this year, they had an Indian Prime Minister, right?
Modi.
Who would have thought that? You would have dreamed it. It's like, you're ridiculous, you madman. You crazy? Indian Prime Minister in England? What are you talking about? Next thing will be an English Prime Minister of India. You know. That would be the end of India. Who knows what the Lord's planning, but Bhagavatam sets, who would have thought? And it's just incredible. So I don't know what's going on this year. I'm not so tuned in this year as I was last year. We were on a marathon last year. We did 178 sets here last year in France. Most of them in September, by the way. We did, I think, 80 or 90 in September alone last year. So we still have a few weeks left, and we're nowhere near last year's target. Last year's total. This year, everywhere we had our European meeting a few weeks ago, and everyone was saying the same thing. Well, we've already distributed all the sets to all of our members, and all the devotees, they've already got 2 or 3 sets each, and it was like that, you know. Everyone was saying the same thing, basically. I don't know how we can do many sets this year. You know what Vaisheshika's like. He doesn't take such an excuse as an answer, you know. There's no way you can take. And the very next day, Rasananda, is Rasananda here? There he is. The very next day he went, they were in Marseille, we were having an Olympic marathon. The Olympic marathon was so good we had to send devotees out of Paris to distribute books. Because we couldn't distribute books anywhere near the Olympic sites. We couldn't distribute anything in the centre of Paris. They just kick you out immediately. You couldn't do Harinam or book distribution anywhere near the Olympic sites or in the centre of Paris. We had to go to kind of inner suburbs of Paris, and which were quieter than usual because everyone was on holiday. Maya, yeah, they were in Maya. So they went to Montpellier, right? Montpellier. And another group went to Bordeaux. Where's Ekanath? He went to Bordeaux, where he's probably in the kitchen. Oh, there he is. He loves the kitchen, by the way. He wants to learn to cook. He loves cooking. He wants to learn to cook. Good. What he does, he doesn't know how to cook in terms of the way Prabhupada taught, but he loves cooking, and what he cooked is good also. He's a very good cook. Anyway, he went to Bordeaux and to party there, and Rasananda and Dynataya and the party went to Christopher also. They went to Montpellier, and the first day after that meeting was sort of impossible. How we can do it. He just went on the street. He distributed about 48 Bhagavad Gitas that day on the street. On the way back, he was so fired up he took a Bhagavatam set out with him, and he was, tell the story, Rasananda. What happened? Loud and clear.
Bhagavatam said, well, like on that day we were kind of fired up with Christopher. He came to join me after like a long day of distributing, books, and we just like in the neighborhood of where we stayed.
Ordinary people in the street.
And then, so we just kind of trying to figure out where Krishna would send us in order to distribute that Bhagavatam set, just following kind of our instincts. So we just kind of like, it was a private property, so we weren't really allowed to be there. Some lady with a dog would tell us, what are you doing?
Private?
Yes. So we just still went in and we just talked to people on the way, but then we saw this red head.
Red head?
Yeah, red head.
A red head.
Person. Kind of a
red head. Where did he come
well.
from? Martian or what?
No, he was just an elderly, like.
He had a red head.
Like a
red hair or red head?
Red
red hair?
Yes.
Red hair. Oh no, red head. Some of you got red head. Some of you do have red heads. Okay.
So we kind of ran up to him and...
was it dyed?
I think so. I think it was a natural.
Natural red hair. Put his head in the oven or something.
I think he was smoking a cigarette out.
That's why.
Marijuana.
Yeah. So we ran up to him and told him that, like there's time and space is separating us, but we just cross all of that just to meet you and to give you the Srimad Bhagavatam. And then we just started just like talking him.
Was he on the street or in the house?
He was in the house, but he was like his window. It's like on the
Ground level, huh?
ground level, and he was just smoking his cigarette
And
out the
sticking his head out the
And
window.
You could see his entire apartment from the street.
I see.
So when we handed him the Bhagavatam, had a huge is it poster of Ganesh?
You saw a poster of Ganesh inside?
Yes.
Just see.
So they were interested in spirituality, obviously. So they were very nice souls. Him and his friends. They had 2 motorcycles on the side of the road. Belonged to them. So I don't remember exactly what we told them. Do you remember what we were? We said so many things, different things, and eventually, they were so fired up. They accepted the Bhagavatam. They were very nice.
They paid for it?
Actually, we sponsored that one for them.
You sponsored it?
Because they really, and it was just to start up the distribution.
Get the ball rolling.
Exactly.
Amazing. Amazing. That was the very next day. So there are people who are interested. We just have to. Yesterday on Harinam also, it was amazing, wasn't it? The door was just about 109 Gitas yesterday. People paid for it. I don't know how much was collected, but they more than the cost price. One guy gave 50 euros. And then that old couple, we were chanting, Nitya Sachi was chanting, and we were just basically getting set up. We had the book table set up, and they put a little donation box in front of it. And 2 unusual, very early on, 2 elderly people, a man just came up and threw some coins in the box. Very respectable looking couple. They weren't street bums. They were very respectable looking. And then they were I called them over and they came in, and they were very, very friendly. He said they were 88 years old, both of them. The wife and the husband, 88 years old. And Ekanath came, they didn't speak English, but they were very friendly. And the husband wanted a picture. Actually, he sent his wife over to get a picture with me. So he took a picture with his wife, this elderly little short lady next to me. And then I called him over and said, "That's another picture." And they took a picture of both of us. And Ekanath took a picture. He had his own picture. He had a picture. And when you take a Bhagavad Gita, Ekanath gave him the Gita. He took the Gita and said, "I can't take this. I'll have to give more money." So then he pulled out more money and threw it in the box. And took the Gita. And 88-year-old, he lived just round the corner from where we were chanting in tour. So there are people everywhere. You just have to, as we were found, God knows where we were found, in some gutter somewhere. I was found in a drug den in the basement of an apartment in Birmingham. Everyone was drugged out. And that's where I was first hooked by Prabhupada's mercy. So, wherever we are, you never know what Krishna's plans are. It's never too late. So we are here, and it's 9:10, and I guess we are... Oh, I just finished. I'd love to read on, but we have programs in Prashad. What time is lunch today?
2 o'clock.
Today, bear in mind that lunch is at 2 o'clock, not 1 o'clock. Is that right? Does that affect the seminar? Does it affect the seminar? Okay, is the seminar the same time?
Yes, Maharaj, it doesn't need to.
Same time, so 11:30 in the second Prashadam room. We'll be having a continuation of the association of Haridas Thakur. As we become inspired by associating with Srila Prabhupada here and his devotees, one can be inspired by associating with any of the eternal associates of the Lord. You can take it. It's by association that our hearts change. Many times the Lord asks how and what, this and that. You put this down. By association, the taste develops, and the nartas go into the wilderness, and attraction for Krishna consciousness awakens and develops. So it's very important. And even if we can't get the physical association, we can at least hear about them and learn how we can. There are Siksha Gurus. Haridas Thakur is one of our Siksha Gurus. Rupa Sanatan, the Goswamis, and Vishwanath, and all of our, the They're not ordinary jivas like we are. They come into this world to give that Vrindavan association, or the means to become eligible for that association. There are 6 Gurus. So where do we stand? Where are we? We're in September the 1st today. If I can get online, we can have a look at it. Just for your information. If anyone wants to help us, we've just got orders from African countries for about 15 Bhagavatam sets. So that's good. We have sponsors for 13 at the moment. Let me see, where's the month? This month, we distributed this month. 25 sets so far. That was last month. 25 sets last month. Small time compared to London, where they do 230 every month. Is that right? Is that what you said?
230 every month?
Is that what you said?
No, I wish.
Not that many.
Every day.
Every day. The day will come. The day will come. There we go. You got the higher instruction now. I gave you a lower one. You got a higher one. Jai, order of the boss. Nothing is impossible. Anyway, as far as our overall situation is concerned, we'd like to thank the devotees for going on Sankirtan yesterday and helping us to reach our small target this month of 6,000 book points. I don't know the final figure, but it's more than 6 now, that's for sure. And for the actual period itself, where did they put that now? We were hoping to do, originally Italy, France, different countries, we all said, we'll try for 64 sets. So let's see where we stand right now. That's not it. Oh, I had it last time. Where'd it go? I lost it. Such is life. Easy. Here it is. Yes. We are. Anyway, I can only give you an estimate. I can't find it right now, I'm afraid. But we have done about, well, we wanted to do 64 from the beginning of August, so that's 25. What does that leave? A balance of 39. And with 15 going to Africa, that leaves 24. So in the next 2 or 3 weeks, we'd like to at least do 24 sets. But last year we were 70 sets above our quota of 108, so let's see what we can do this year. Maybe we can do more. See if anyone knows anyone, as Janananda found somebody in the middle of nowhere who was interested. We can possibly sponsor if people are really interested, but let's see if they're willing to buy, all the better. And see how we can please Prabhupada by distributing his Srimad Bhagavatam all over the world. We just do a lot of Hindi ones here, a lot of Tamil, but we have no stock practically at the moment. The stock is arriving in London today. I don't know if we'll get it on time. Let's see. So we'd like to thank you all for being here, and thank you for coming on Harinam yesterday. Thank you for everything. Without the Vaishnavas, we have nothing. We are totally empty. So thank you for giving us some life and hope and opportunity. Hare Krishna. We will finish there. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Sadhu Purim ki jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Nitai ki jai. Shri Shri Krishna Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Govinda Madhava ki jai. Gaur Premanandi. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So if anyone wants, I think 11:30 in the second Prashad. Okay, moving quick.